students introduce themselves. My name is Brenna Ferrick, and I'm a teacher in the Legal and Protective Services shop at Tri-County Regional Vocational Technical High School in Franklin. So I'm going to let Sophia get us started.
Hi, everyone. So today we'll be presenting our presentation called Scammers Don't Care About You, But We Do. We're the Legal and Protective Services shop at Tri-County. We basically learn about all the legal proceedings and a lot about police officers and workers in the field. And today our topics will range from healthcare to the grandparent scams and how scammers will try to get your money or information or both by playing off your emotions of the situations they call.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace and this is Jack.
So many scammers want to trick you into you giving them your social security number, passwords and emails, or personal information, such as the pet's name, make and model of your first car, high school mascot, etc. These are security questions you have when you get a bank account. So they would use this to get your information and trick you.
And so the emotion that they kind of target is your feelings of embarrassment or feeling overwhelmed with whether, technology and not knowing, how to not click on pop-up ads and stuff like that, or just feeling embarrassed if you do fall for one of these scams and you don't know who to talk to or you feel like you can't.
So some examples would be scammers take advantage of inexperienced people. Scammers take information instead of money, so they could open accounts up and pretend to be you. They can create new credit cards in your name without you even knowing about it.
So what you need to look for are fake alerts that appear to be well-known companies, but they're probably misspelled or it looks blurry, like that picture up there. You should also look for withdrawals from your bank account that you did not make yourself. And also make sure to check your credit score because it could be impacted if someone took your information and decided to buy things without you knowing.
What to do? Do not click on any pop-up ads. Your computer has a virus. Don't do that. It could receive a call saying this is your bank. Do not do that. And call the trusted numbers of the organization or bank. They will never try to call you and tell you that. That'll be a scam, so just contact them. If they ask your pet's name, it's your identity they're trying to claim.
Hi, my name is Haley and I will be talking to you about IRS scams. What to look for in these types of scams. I'm sure all of you have gotten a letter from the IRS before. The IRS will never call out of the blue. They will always send multiple letters in advance before ever calling you to tell you they're going to call you. They also just mostly send to the mail to avoid scams like this. If you get one of these calls and there is a lot of out of the blue threats, about being arrested, about things being taken away. Again, this won't just happen randomly. You will get multiple letters and multiple warnings beforehand. An unspecified amount of money. If you have a debt, it will be specific down to the cents. It won't be about this much. It will be an exact number. And strange payment methods. The IRS, as you know, is an official government form of government. They will not use unofficial payment methods like using gift cards or things like that. The emotion used during these scams is intimidation. In these scams, the scammers will try to make themselves sound like they have a lot of authority over you, using words they want to make sure you won't understand and making sure it seems like they know more than you do. They do this to gain power of the situation. They mystify the tax process by doing this. They do this by sounding official as well. And again, threats to intimidate you and make you panicked. For IRS scams, like I said, they will always contact you in the mail. As you can see, that's what an official IRS letter looks like. It has your information on it, it has that symbol, it has a very specific amount of money, and it's not pay this right now or you will go to jail. It's you have this amount of time to pay this, please pay it soon, or we'll send more warnings, things like that. What to do if you get one of these calls? First, try and verify if this is a real call from the IRS. If you cannot verify, do not give any information and hang up. Do not worry about being polite, even though I know you probably want to. These people just want to steal your money. And to verify and make sure this was or wasn't a real call, you can look up your local IRS number and call and ask about it. Before you reply, verify.
Hello, my name's Emma, and this is Emily, and we'll be doing online relationship scams. Scammers tend to target widows, those who are 60 and over, some of the pandemic loneliness, and retirees. They tend to prey off of the emotions of love and loneliness. Yep.
Okay, so what to look for? So the first thing would be a fast emotional connection, and this would be saying I love you very soon, or by taking your conversations to different apps or sources or letters. Canceling in-person plans. If they're a scammer, they don't want you to know that they're a scammer, so they're not going to want to meet you. So if they're frequently canceling in-person plans, that's a red flag to be aware of. And anything that seems like too good to be true is always something to be wary of. Okay, so what to do? The first thing is the hardest step, and that would be to cut off all communication. They're going to want to try and manipulate you and keep manipulating you to get your information and your money. So cutting off that communication can be hard, especially if you built a relationship with that person, whether it be a friendship or romantic relationship. But it's very important. Looking for red flags. This is like any online dating. Just making sure, or talking to anyone online, you want to just make sure it's safe. Using reliable apps and sites. This isn't a 100% guarantee, but it's just an added precaution that could be good. And just knowing the risks of talking to people online. They're not always who they say they are.
So we created this scenario between lovely Barbara, she's trying to make plans with this scammer.
So the first thing would be here that's a red flag is the grammatical errors. Now, this is a very dramatic version of it, but a frequent misuse of like grammar and stuff is a red flag because scammers are often from foreign countries. So when they translate their messages that they're trying to send to you, the translating apps don't actually correct grammar. So they're also probably sending them in mass amounts to many people to see who will take the bait. So they're not really worried about grammatical errors. They're just wanting someone to, grab on.
Sorry. Yeah. So here we have some catfishing photos, if it looks too good to be true, kind of. For their profile pictures, we got some famous people here. Don't let your online honey steal all your money.
I'm Tyler, and I'm here to teach you about sweepstakes scams. So, sweepstakes scams are going to go off of the adrenaline rush and excitement you get when you receive a winning lottery ticket. 15% of these scam calls are going to be about sweepstakes, so you want to pay attention to what they're saying. And you don't want to pick up a number with the 876, 809, or 284 area code, for they are from the Caribbean and other foreign countries. What to look for: entering a contest or winning a contest you didn't enter. This can be through phone calls, pop-ups, junk email, offers that will expire soon. They're not going to give you the information that you've just won a day before you have to claim it. You won a prize, but you need to pay a handling fee of some sort. They're just going to take that out of your prize money anyways. What to do? You want to hang up the phone. If they claim to be the Publishers Clearinghouse, you can call that number to verify. Always check the legitimacy of the companies. This can be done by looking at the postal code on the mail, and discuss the decision with a trusted friend or family member. Maybe somebody else in your family entered you in a contest.
Hi everyone, I'm Sabra and this is Sam, and today we're going to be talking to you all about the grandparent scam.
So, an example is you may get a call late at night from someone saying that they are your grandchild. They may sound frantic, worried, and they may say that they're in need of money.
So the emotions that these scammers will take advantage of are your exhaustion, because they do usually call in the middle of the night, and fear for your grandchild's safety.
So, how the emotions are used is exhaustion confuses you because it wakes you up in the middle of the night, and fear makes you act quickly in the situation.
So some of the things to watch out for if you get this kind of call: any excessive guilt tripping is a red flag. Scammers use this to draw on your love for your grandchild and to, once again, take advantage of your emotional state. If they ask for any unusual forms of payment, like MoneyGram, Western Union, and gift cards are a big one. And if they ask you to keep it away from the parents, obviously the scammers want to keep fooling you, so that's another red flag. So if you notice any or a few of these things, try and reevaluate the situation.
What to do if you do get this call? Ask questions only your grandkid would know, like what's the last vacation you went on? What are your parents' names? Call your children to see if they do know about this, and don't be afraid to hang up the phone.
If your grandkid's in a bind, try to keep a clear mind.
Hi, so my name's Sophia, and this next topic is going to be a little sensitive because there's scams related to death. So the first type of scam you'll be looking for is the debt of a recently lost loved one. These ones normally occur when you recently lose someone, and a scammer will look for widows in the paper and call them and be like, "Hey, well, before your significant other died, well, he borrowed like $1,000 from me, so I'm gonna need that back from you." So that's what they'll do with that, and they'll call it like very inappropriate times and start pressuring you like very severely. What to do with that is to hang up the phone and verify with whoever you think may know about this. Another type of scam is when you're looking for insurance for yourself, and these are called prepaid funeral scams, and they mostly guilt trip you and use time pressure against you to buy things that you don't really need. What to do with this is to verify with the Better Business Bureau and go to a funeral home in person with a friend or trusted family member. Not all prepaid funerals or funeral insurances are scams. It's very important to know that. This way you still trust the real businesses, but you're not just pushing everything off. Before you reply, verify.
Hi, I'm Ava, and this is Jack, and today we're going to be talking to you about fake charity scams. So, all charities try to make you very sympathetic and feel almost guilt to give into their charities because this is how they make their money. But if it's a scam, they'll go to very extreme measures to make you feel this way so that they can scam you. A lot of this will happen over a phone call, and it might sound something like this.
Hello?
Hi.
Uh, I'm from a charity organization helping those who have been affected by the crisis in Ukraine, and I was wondering if you'd like to make a donation.
I'm sorry, I don't have the money right now.
Uh, are you sure? A lot of people are really struggling. We'd love if you could make a donation.
I'm sorry, not today.
Really? You're not going to give any money to these people?
Goodbye.
So again, you see, what to look for is any sort of pressuring. Uh, a charity will take no for an answer if you tell them no the first time. They'll also always let you call back. Any sense of urgency, they want, and because a real charity will always let you call back, they want you to give money right away because they switch phone numbers very regularly and you won't be able to make a donation afterwards. Again, any sort of unusual payment like Western Union or a gift card is a clear sign that it's a not legitimate organization. Some common forms of fake charity are certain disasters such as a hurricane or a natural disaster or something like the Ukraine crisis going on right now. That has been a huge upsurge in this type of scam. Also, any law enforcement or firefighter related scams are very common, as well as like child's hospitals as a very common form of this type of scam. And what to do if you're unsure about whether a charity is legitimate or not is you can visit the website charitynavigator.org. This website allows you to search through different charities and will rank them based on how much of the money you donate goes to their actual said cause. So it will tell you if the charity is a complete scam, but it will also, if you do want to make a donation, it will tell you what charity will be the best to donate to, so most of your money actually gets to what you want to donate to. Before you reply, verify.
Hi, I'm Tyler, and today I'll be talking about healthcare scams. Healthcare scam is when a scammer calls saying they have discounts on prescriptions, or they may threaten to cancel your healthcare benefits. So the emotion that these scammers tend to use is fear. Example of how fear is used in this situation is you might fear losing your insurance, the fear of medical expenses, and the intimidation of government. So the intimidation of government is basically piggybacking off of the IRS scam. They may use fancy words that you won't recognize just to try to show that they're in charge. What to look out for? Information that your healthcare provider should already know, such as your healthcare ID numbers, and make sure not to share your social security or bank information with anyone whatsoever. And Medicaid or Medicare will not ask for your money information because they already have it. What to do? Protect your private information and call back the trusted number to verify. And this trusted number will be your healthcare provider. Protect your health, secure your wealth.
Hi, I'm Ben, and I'm going to be talking about COVID and mass hysteria events that are going on. So, with COVID, it's not as big of a deal as it used to be when it was in the middle of the pandemic, but they used to send you like notifications through email, phones, like calls or texts about like stimulus checks or like FEMA insurance, FEMA funeral insurance. And then after that, once they were kind of talking about cures might be a thing, as of now, there are no cures. So if you get a call about a cure, it's not real. And also, because of the thing in Ukraine, Ava and Jack talked about how there were charities, but you have to be careful because it could be a scam. Scammers don't care about it, but we do.
I'm sure any of you might have follow-up questions for any of the types of scams or questions about things that you wonder whether or not you've, yeah.
So if you get a junk phone call, is there any harm in just answering it and letting it go to silence?
let you guys answer that.
I mean,
Just to annoy them.
there can be some harm with answering it. I wouldn't recommend answering it.
Even if I don't say anything?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
once they have different systems, so if you answer a phone call and that shows them that this is a phone number that will answer these calls and makes it so if you do that, you're more likely to get more scam calls in the future.
I have three things I can tell you. Number one, when I get a phone call and they're trying to sell something, I say to me, hold on a minute, I've got something on the stove. I have to turn the stove off. And I put the phone down and I go about my business. Well, the phone is tied up, they can't call anybody else, and they eventually hang up. One time, my mom was getting phone calls every single night after she came home from work at 5 o'clock. And this went on for a week. The man was making very suggestive sexual, suggestions of things he would love to do with her and for her. So on the 5th day, my mother, being aggravated, said to him, well, would you like that before supper or after supper? I never heard from him again. And I had a customer, I was a branch manager in a bank, and I had one of my customers called me one morning and said, Linda, I have to take $3,000 in cash out of my savings account. And I said, that's an awful lot of money, an awful lot of cash for you to be walking around at your age. Who's going to be, coming with you to pick up this money? I can't tell you anything about why I have to have this money, but I have to have this money and I have to have it by a certain time. I said, you need to call the local police and let them handle. No, she wouldn't listen to me. She came, I can't refuse to give her her money out of her own account. I gave her the $3,000. She came back about 2 hours later and said, I should have listened to you, it was a scam. And by the time she went to the police, there was no way to find these people. She says, they are threatening, they have my granddaughter, and her granddaughter was away at college. They knew the granddaughter's name, and they used the granddaughter's name, and they told her they would kill her granddaughter if she didn't come up with this $3,000. So she learned the hard way, and by the time she went to the police, they said there's nothing we can do at this point. We can try to find the guy. You never saw his vehicle. He walked up to you, told you where to put the money. You never really saw him. You just put that batch of money behind a rock where he told you to put it. And I'm going, I thought to myself, I know you're smarter than that. So I just,
That's a perfect example, and what the students found was similar when Ms. Bellotti showed us all the different types of scams. What our students noticed is how very intelligent, logical people fall for these things because of the heightened state of emotion that they put you in. We can all sit here and think, oh gosh, I wouldn't fall for any of that. But if you are woken up in the middle of the night and you truly think someone you love is in danger, you're not thinking logically. Any one of us could fall for that, despite how smart or logical we may be.
And I had one recently, my grandson, the phone rang, I answered the phone and I said hello. And this young man said, hi Grammy, how are you? He sounded exactly like my grandson. And I went, Austin, oh, I'm so glad to hear from you. I haven't heard from you in a while. How's everything going? And he's, oh, everything's fine. I says, are you in Louisiana or are you visiting Dad? He goes, no. He goes, I'm in Louisiana, but I'm not supposed to be here. I'm in trouble and I need some help. I had an automobile accident and I need some money. Will you wire me some money? And I said, Austin, no, I won't wire you some money. You call your father and get money. And again, it was a scam.
Yeah.
Austin was not in Louisiana. He was in out on the West Coast where he lives, like California someplace. And when I called my son and told him, he goes, Mom, Austin's in California, and you did the right thing by telling the guy, you know, that you weren't giving him the money, you know, but they come to you and they make it sound so serious. But the thing that made me think it was my grandson was because he sounded like a young guy, and he sounded like my grandson. That's what threw me. But when he started saying I was in an automobile accident and I'm in the hospital and Dad doesn't know I'm here and I need money to get out of the hospital, I said, really? You better call your father. And I hung up on him. So.
I thought the punchline to your story was, I'm Michael Morrissey and I'm the district attorney, and I appreciate all your work. Gail just lost her job today, I saw because of all the good work you're doing. And we get a lot of calls, and the police will tell you, what's your money? They pot you with your money. It's a lot of times it's overseas. We can't help you, so we'd rather get the phone call ahead of time. But I thought the punchline to your story was when you said your grandson Austin. I said she probably doesn't even have a grandson Austin. So,
I do.
but no,
That's his name.
But that's what happens. They get that out of you. And I've had the same thing. And I said one time, well, it said that your son, and I only have one, and so I made up a name, and I said, Johnny? I said, yeah, Johnny. Well, I have a son, James. And I said, well, I don't like the kid anyway, you know, so keep him. So it's, but obviously they even got a piece of information from you. You have a grandson, Austin. So next time, use a phony name. And I know that some of you are tempted, and you guys had the right answer when people asked you. I saw Gail one day at the office, and she had someone she was torturing on the phone. And she knew it was a scammer. And I kept trying to, you know, get her to do some work, and she's working away. I said, what are you doing? And she said, well, I'm doing my work, but I'm tying this guy up so he doesn't bother anybody else today. So, and Gail was trying to get more information out of him, and so, I mean, she was just doing it to torture the poor person. But we don't suggest you do that. It's
Why? It's fun.
Well, I think Gail thought it was fun too, but you know, but you end up getting more calls too potentially. So that's the downside. I mean, if that's your idea of fun, you know, so we should talk. But I just want to thank you all for coming and thank the work that you guys are doing. It's Tri-County. It's very helpful to everybody to know this. But whenever anyone's trying to separate you from your money, just take any information down and call a relative or call the police department. They'd rather hear from you in the first end of things. If you start calling and telling me they've potted you with your cash, usually gift cards or cash in case, our chances of getting that money back drop substantially. And a lot of times, you know, once they get the gift cards, they want the numbers off the back and they're shipping them overseas. And our chances of getting that, the time and the resources to do that, the amount of money they get, it's a small amount of money to them. It's a lot of money to you. And it just makes it much harder for us to do that. So, but the short answer is, I like to have verify. I mean, just, you know, call someone. There's no rush. You know, anything anybody has, if it's that important, and you think it's that important, we'll get on the phone right away and call someone you trust. But most of the stuff is not that time consuming. And we still get the old scams too. When they come to your house and they want to seal coat your driveway, and they put oil down, and the first rainstorm it's gone, that's still out there. So, but they have gotten it much more advanced, you know, from knocking on your door to now reaching you through the internet. The internet it's great, but it also has its perils, and that's what we try to warn you about. So thank you for the work, Brenna.
When you verify the number, don't verify it using the number they give you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Go look it up, you know, I'm going to say on the internet, but don't do that either. Just look it up in the phone book.
Unfortunately, now with the increasing technology, there is ways to mask a phone number and just create random ones.
Oh,
People even get scam calls from their own phone numbers.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, so the caller ID might say your bank name on it or something, and you can't trust your caller ID. So if they call, similar to your grandparents' scam, and they say, hi, we're calling from your bank, and you say, oh, Middlesex Savings Bank, you know, or something like that, you're giving that, now they can run with that. So if anyone's calling from a government agency, as we said, the IRS, or your bank, or your credit card, or I don't know if any of you have had your your car insurance lapse, or not the insurance, what's the one we all
The
get?
warranty.
About your warranty
Yes.
is about to expire, your extended warranty. If you just hang up with them and call the number you know to be your bank or your credit card, they're just a person on the phone, so you can say, I'll call back later, then you call Middlesex Savings Bank, or you call American Express. When you call that number you know is that bank, tell them your name and your information. Whoever is on the other line will, if there's a true message for you, they'll be able to get the same message, so. Does anyone else have any other questions? Or did you gentlemen want to, are there any particular scams in this area that you see more frequently than others?
The grandparent scam is a big one. Mailbox phishing is a big one. People will go and take the mail out of your mailbox if you're sending a check. They'll alter the name on it and the legal line in the payable and change that. But these guys hit it out of the park. They hit everything that we're seeing. The DA mentioned a lot of the home scams. People are going to go and tell you they're going to put a roof on your house. We'll do it for $20,000. Go give us $10,000 cash. So don't pay anybody in cash. The police station is open 24 hours a day, so if you do get a phone call and you're concerned if it's real or not, just call us. Somebody's always at the station. We'll be able to take that. Go ahead, sir.
Should we use 911 for that, or should we use 3206?
Yeah, use 3206. Dispatch will just use the business.
Unless the
line.
scammers are at the house.
Yeah. Any other questions?
It's easy.
Thank you all.
Thank you.